That's better. My name is Joseph. If you didn't know that by now. How's everybody doing? I hope well. It's funny to hope that one is well. When one feels hopeless. Don't you feel hopeless? Right now. Do you feel safe, secure, like there's gonna be a tomorrow? God is not a virus. God does not spread. Because God is already everywhere. Do you understand what that means? You have a brain. It's highly sophisticated. Very, very far away from, say, the mind of a cockroach. Okay? Your mind is so far. So use it. Think about what you just heard. God is not a virus. Here, I'm going to remove this because I think some people find that offensive. And I find it funny, sad, but funny, because we are told we are in God's image. And yet, many would believe God does not, should not feel what I feel. Don't you feel that? Any of you out there right now? Part of it? Any of it? And God said to me, to you, sure fucked yourselves. What could I say? What would you say? This world is insane. You don't need to take a course on it to understand what's going on. Right now, all around this world. It's insanity. It's disgusting. It's offensive. I feel like we sure fucked ourselves. 'Cause it's feeling pretty helpless. What can you do to stop it, to change it? What are you doing? Or have you given up, given your power over to something insidious, rotten to its core? Is that what you've done? Because it sure seems that way. I'll take that off the screen. Let me put it back up. Here, how about I'll put this one up. There, that's me. I'm here. That's me when I was 23. Dreaming some kind of a reality. Good enough for me, real enough for me. I don't dream and question the reality of what's taking place. It's real. Just as real as this moment is, which is crazy. Okay? You can't talk. I mean, this is just a fact. You can't talk. You can't tell the truth. Because if you do, there will be repercussions. Not allowed. There is a wicked agenda worldwide. You can't talk about it. No, you're told not to, which goes against everything being me is about. And the same goes for you and each and every single living, breathing, thinking, conscious being. And yet those things are being denied. It's an absolute fact. You don't matter. You don't matter. According to the agenda in place. Do a search. See it up there? That's just the beginning. Once the realization of what is taking place hits you, then use that time to catch your breath for what comes next. God is here right now. Never left. God never left. I think people think God left, like God is coming back. Right? But somehow, for some reason, we're told, again, I'm told so many things. We're told that to see God in everything around. Okay? Which I don't have a problem with that. But I think that a lot of people have a misunderstanding with that and a kind of jumped ahead thinking they got it and they didn't. God is here right now, always is. Wish I had my UFO picture. I don't have it with me, or I'd flip it on, because I feel for a brief moment I have to bring up the whole UFO alien thing, because because why? Government don't know jack. Okay? I'll keep saying that because it's what it is. Government doesn't know what this is. Government thinks they know. They may be taking whatever. You know, all the stuff and the means that they have procured or discovered that seem to leave them with the impression that they are connected. You know, like some ayahuasca tea or some DMT. You know, that kind of stuff. The God, the spirit molecule, I think is what they call that, the spirit molecule. Government don't know. They just don't know what this is. World. And I'll come back to the UFO thing. It's definitely a big part of what is taking place, at least from my perspective, my point of view of observation of everything. Everything. I asked God in January of 2020. I specifically focused my thoughts with God, with an understanding that God is here right now, never left. God is here right now, and if there was an intelligence that had the means to answer me the questions, the thoughts that were in my mind focused with God, if there were a means to do that, God has that means. And for me, that means was music. Having music play back. Right after spending that moment in focused thought with God. It's very simple. And then let the music begin. Randomly. However, turn on a music video channel, a radio channel, an app that will randomly generate a song. It's very simple. And that's what I did in January 2020. Coming up on 2 years. And my thoughts with God were all focused on this virus. And I was very clear with God that I had no intentions of coming back again and again and again on this topic. I wanted as short and as concise as possible, all in one, if possible, to sum it all up. Something I could carry with me and pass along with others. Others who are with God. And the first song that played was a song titled Destiny. Random song. Took a snapshot of it. Destiny. Okay? Again, I focused my thoughts, my intent with God was for an answer, something to keep me going, to keep us going, to keep the dream alive. Destiny. And I let it play to the next song. Again, random. And the title of that song was It's My Life. So God said to me and to everyone I would share that message with was destiny. It's my life. That's all I need. That's all you need to remember, to keep with you through what is going to come, what will come, and what is yet to come. And believe me, I could not have been given more beautiful words. Simple, which is what I thought in my mind. This is not a joke, people. This world's, it's lost its mind. Okay? There's no more law. There isn't. How can you say in one state or states you can behave a certain way? Okay, you can loot, pillage, and plunder and not be punished. Because that's happened. That's a fact. As crazy and as insane as that sounds, it's a fact. It happened all last summer. And I believe if I go back to January of 2020, I believe, my memory serves, at some point, might have been early February, I made a reference in one of my streams that that summer that was to come was going to be a fiery summer, which is exactly what it was. Destiny. It's my life. There's just no more sanity, and it seems so strange. That's why I kind of chose not to turn the camera on, because I feel like nobody's out there. Everybody's like a ghost. I mean, you can't say anything. I guess maybe that's what it is. Everybody's just too afraid to speak the truth. And the media, there's no more media, okay? There's no news. It's all lies. All of it. It's all built on lying. I mean, when you live in a day and an age when I'm probably, you can't say that, or if not, it will come to be, where each and everything that is considered criticism, when I see it, I'm criticizing, will not be allowed. And the only reason it will not be allowed is to conceal the truth, which is they are lying. and if everybody told that, then the truth would be out. All of these people, YouTube, you hear me? You hear me? You're guilty. All of you there, right now. If you're not speaking up for the complete disregard for just common sense, okay? Your right to just be, then you're guilty. Google, same goes for you. Facebook, same. All the hospitals, all the military, all around the world. I ain't picking on the good old US of A. Y'all guilty. if you don't stand up. Wake up if you haven't already, and then stand up, and then speak up. Otherwise, I'm dreaming in that picture there, if you happen to see the screen. But you could take a different interpretation if you didn't know the backstory to the photo. And yeah, looks like a person who's, they're gone. Okay, I'll just put it that way. They're gone. And that's exactly where you're gonna be if you don't wake up soon, like right now. I'm not stupid, and I know I'm not alone. This government, U.S. government, is an absolute joke. It is. And to hear them make themselves out to be the greatest administration to be, well, you're a fucking joke. Okay? Sorry, excuse me and my language, but I think it was pretty clear from the snapshot that it could and probably would occur. Now, this is a government right now, this administration is a fucking joke. Okay? And then to think that they want to make it against the law to say that should tell you something right now. Because it doesn't stop there. They're going to keep saying, you can't say this, you can't say that, and you can't even get frustrated. Like, what the hell? That will be an offense. Oh no, you can't get pissed off and frustrated. No. Why? Because there are those that can't contain themselves and just take it too far, and then they ruin it for the rest of you. That's just the way it is. More than ever right now. I'm telling you, wake up. This government right now is evil. It is rotten. It leaves a sickening taste in my mouth because it's so thick in the air all around. They're insane. They are. All of them. Republicans and Democrats. Can't say independents because they probably wouldn't be on the news for one to know what they... But none of them. I don't hear anybody in government dealing with the truth, the reality of what's going on. I see the data. I'm not making the data. The data's coming from established organizations, government, whatever. That's where the data's coming from. It ain't coming from you or me or anybody most likely that you know. It's coming from accredited agencies. Okay? the data, and you can see the data. I'm not going to tell you what it says because you can't. See, that's the thing. If you were to see the data, if the news were to show you the data, if the government would show you the data, you might ask questions. And see, right as I get to this point, I see YouTube's having a problem. I got my error, not receiving enough video, which is a bunch of crap. See, they just don't want you talking, speaking up. It's ridiculous. I've only been going a half an hour. It's not like I've been here for hours. And I just did a fresh restart of the computer, so this is just absolutely ridiculous. This is what the system does. And I think people think you're crazy for saying that. And it's, again, because they think there needs to be a person behind some monitor watching what you're doing. And that's not what's going on. We're talking about an artificial intelligence of sorts, a computer operating that's watching, listening. So you need to get that thought out of your mind that there's some person, because yeah, that would be pretty impossible for somebody to have everybody have somebody be watching them. You know, it's not going to happen if you're using people. But if you're using a computer in this day and age, especially you get into the quantum computers and all that processing power, hooey, it can process everybody and what they're all typing, what they're all saying on the telephone, what they're all saying in a microphone on a stream on YouTube. And I got my no data, now back to error. See, this is the bummer part. It's like, do I talk and it's still picking it up? Here, let me take this picture off. And I'll go back to this because I think it's very true. Because that's what we've done. This world has lost its mind. It has. There's no more common sense. There's no more courtesy. There's only fuck you. And you and you and you. I don't trust nobody. And that's pretty sad to feel that way. But I don't trust anybody. I see what happens all around me. I'm very aware of what goes on, what people say here and what people say there. Most of the time I'm pretty quiet, other than I share my views about what's going on with this you know what. These people are planning to reduce the population, okay? And if YouTube wants to censor one for saying that, I don't understand, because it's all out there. It's not like I'm the one saying it. These people say it. They say it in front of the camera. They've been writing books about it. They've been planning it. I think mankind's been planning it probably pretty much far back almost to the beginning, if not the beginning. My way, not your way. My way. My way for everyone, fool. Right? That's what it seems to be. I don't see too much conquering going on for the betterment of everybody. Okay? This country was an attempt in that direction. It was. I'd like to say it still is, but I don't think at this current point in time it could change. I'm not saying it couldn't change. There could be a shift, but right now I think we're dead. The United States is dead. I don't see any movement. I don't see the people standing up against what is taking place. It's nonsense. You got Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice. I'm telling you, if they make a remake of the Beetlejuice movie, they gotta hire her. Okay? She should, when she loses or stops being the mayor, she should search that out. Because all the money they would save on makeup. I mean, there's little needed. Sorry. It is what it is. This woman is mentally ill. Okay? I can say that. And I don't need to be some PhD mental doctor, psychiatrist, or such to say such a thing. Okay? I am a thinking person, a mind. And when you have a person that's wanting to defund the police, okay, she knows she was there. Defund the police, get rid of the police. And now she needs more police. She's got a fear that there's not enough police. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, bitch. I just don't give a flying you know what anymore. Because this is stupid and ridiculous. I ain't telling anything that ain't the truth. And I ain't gonna say it nicely, because there's nothing nice about what this woman's doing. To have the gall to defund the police, and then when there's not enough police, have this fear that she needs more police because it's gonna hurt her image. Again, I'm telling you, sweetheart, I have a heart. I do have compassion. And I'm telling you, or I'm putting out there the idea, the possibility of you playing Beetlejuice. And hey, yeah, I know you're a woman playing Beetlejuice, and that just makes it that much more special, right? I mean, hell, we got the dude, or whatever she calls oneself, who is a champion in the women's Olympics weightlifting. Okay? So yeah, you need to play Beetlejuice. Now that I've gotten that out there and off my chest. Let me get back to the topic. I have excellent condition again. It's been that way for the moment. I'm convinced they're watching. I know. It's not that I'm convinced. I know. I understand enough of technology and what's going on to know that the means to listen in, so to speak, on what you and everybody does when they are connected to some kind of a wave, whether it's the internet or your cell phone, it exists. And they're doing it. Why? Because that just seems to be like what people do. They just have no respect for privacy. But you know what? I get it. On the other hand, I understand why they do it, why they want to do it. Because there is an element of what they're doing that should, in the end, result in a dramatic decrease in crime. I mean, if you know, they know, well, you're most likely you're not going to do it, right? That's where we're headed. That's what's coming. And I can think even farther beyond. You know, like what's that movie, Minority Report, with the pre-crime. That's coming too, because you don't need some psychics tapped into some system. You have the computer system, again, the same one that's already being trained, taught to monitor as much as it possibly can, and then bring it all together. That's where the real magic happens, bringing all that data into one place. I see that. I understand, again, what's going on. Where do I want to go? What direction? Wow, I've been here 43 minutes. It's been a while. Sometimes I don't want to come back. Maybe that's why I decided I didn't want to have a camera on. Didn't feel a need. I just want to be here. Just a voice. A sound. To be heard. Not watched. Oh, then you got, who's that? William Shatner. Kirk. Don't beam me up. I don't want to be on the ship that he's on. I mean, to hear the man, the words right out of his mouth, the coming catastrophe. And then the two women reporter, news anchors, like in total agreement. Yeah, nodding their head. Yeah, the coming catastrophe. What the hell is that, Kirk? William? What's that all about? What are you talking about? I mean, I don't expect you to answer. I know what you're talking about. I think a lot of us know what you're talking about. I think everybody knows. They just choose to deal with it in their way. Some people are awake, and the rest don't care. I'm trying to make things simple. Because I think everything is a lot simpler than we've made it into. This is absurd. There's no, this lawless. This administration, oh my, I'll keep saying, what Jim, Joe, what Jim? This man is not president material. None of his administration, but it makes sense if they're insane, right along with a good number of others, because people are in denial. They're in denial. And I already know what's going to happen if people don't wake up. They're going to die. They're going to die. Or be killed. Or eaten. When everything breaks down. I mean, that's the direction we're headed in. How can you not see that? And how can it be a crime to even to keep one from talking about it? When you got the tankers, all these cargo ships unable to deliver goods, and that's a sign. I mean, don't you get it, people? And there's no reason for it. There is no reason that makes sense for what's happening to be happening. It's either intentional or it's downright stupidity. Either way, the people responsible for it need to be removed from their duties. They need to find something else to do. Like I've said from the beginning, Mr. Joe Biden, who has a questionable, in my mind, issue with children. I've seen enough of the sniffing. It's undeniable, and it leaves me wondering what the fuck, Joe. Sorry, but that's how I feel, and I kind of think there's a lot of others out there, because I'm even hearing rap music singing about you, Joe. You needed to retire and find a beach with some clear water so you can stick your legs in it and have the kids come up and rub your legs so you could see the hairs rise up on your leg, because you get a fucking jolly joy out of it. You're sick, dude. You're absolutely sick and disgusting. And everybody in your administration is just the same. And I can say that. Why? Because they choose right now to stand with you. They have the choice, the free will to stand up and speak up for truth. Because this is a tragedy what's taking place. When you have books in public children's school libraries that's clearly pornography, books of children having sex acts, that's a sign that your society has reached a point of clear insanity. Because that's wrong. Okay? We don't need to go to school and take a course to figure out whether it is right or wrong. We already know. We already know. So why is it happening? Why do we have transvestite story time? Those kinds of events going on. It's I could go for days going over all that kind of crap that's going on all around the world. All around the world. And it's insanity. And it's not leading any of us to a good place. I think I'm going to switch gears here and focus my thoughts for the moment towards the elite, the richest of the rich, the ones who think they're the shit. Why? Because they have all this money. That's it. They just have wealth. And that makes them special. Wrong. So wrong. Your wealth has nothing to do with how special you are. And to think that you think that will be your downfall, your demise. You're going down too, right along with the rest of us. Isn't that how it always goes? Don't you know the story? Haven't you been to the movies? You're the bad guy. Okay? The bad guy always what? Something you didn't think of stops the plan. Always does. Something you didn't think of. Because you thought you already knew it all. All these politicians, they forgot about you. They could give a shit. That's what I think, and I think a lot of people think that too. I'm not hearing much praise from many. I mean, there's a few, and they're pretty psycho about their fondness for whoever it is they give their life energy to. But most people, they understand. But they are like, what do we do? There's nothing we can do. You know, and that's, if that's what you believe, then that's what you shall receive. Okay? How can you expect anything other? I mean, that's what it is. You know, and while I'm on that, it got me, I'm thinking about this, all these people out there that are focused on this, something's coming, and, you know, it's going to get a little rough, but, you know, there's this good times. And I'm like, you know, you people are not all there in your thinking. It makes no sense. It's like you're telling yourself that everything that's happening right now, you know, all the roughness, and we're just barely getting going. But that all of that, you know, you just need to go find a quiet place and wait. Because after all this, there's going to be this good times. And I'm thinking, are you fucking nuts? That's like saying, yeah, none of this matters. We don't need to learn anything about why we even found ourselves where we are right now. Because if we go find a room and meditate and sing kumbaya or whatever, just wait a little bit more. It's all going to be good times. And you don't deserve to be in good times. Because you didn't get anything out of why you're here right now going through what you're going through. And we're all going through it. And if you're not feeling that you are, you're going to be real soon. Because that's the program that's running right now. One by one, the goal is to get everybody on board. Okay, so if it hasn't come to you yet, it's going to. God is not a virus. God's not. God does not spread because God is already everywhere. I'm making a point out of that because it's true. It's very true. But it's true in many ways. Because right now we have taken the one thing closest to us, nearest to one, aside from life, which is death. Okay? We are eliminating the cause of death. There is no more cause of death. Or I should say that's the system being implemented, put in motion, that there is no more, or there is to be no more cause of death. Why? Because everybody dies. Right? Well, I mean, that's pretty clear, but that's not going to stick. So you say everybody dies because of you know what. Makes it simple. Right? I mean, that's what's taking place. It's been taking place. The data, again, supports all of this. It's out there. I'm not printing up the data, putting the data out there. It's, again, official data coming from these systems that have been built by the people, the governments, organizations, all of them, to take all the data and use it to plot out what's going on. Destiny, my people. It's your life, not theirs. Okay? God told me so. I can back it up. I can verify it to the best, short of having God stand in front of you in that way. I did everything that I could using my mind to intelligently think it through, focus my thoughts with God in an attempt for some wisdom. Wisdom. And that's what I did. I took snapshots of the screen on the phone through the app that was playing the music. You can see that. You can see the time stamp there on the photo. You can even see that it's not like I played that song and then skipped until it got to a song that I want. No, none of that. From the beginning, it was play random, starting with a random song, and then it played to the next song. And you can see that because on each of the photos, the app shows you a little sliver of the previous song. So you can match that up, and it all matches up. Anyway, I did everything reasonable to verify what I was preparing in my mind to take place. I was having a conversation in my mind, focusing my thoughts with God. (2020) January. This was just beginning. This time, this era that we are now in, that's when it began. January, February. And I had concerns. I had my own personal concerns, health concerns. And I needed guidance. I needed guidance from God, from Father. And it came through. Destiny. It's my life. When it comes to this whole crap that they're perpetrating on the people, God told me, told you, in my sharing it and passing it along, that the response, all you need to remember is that God said, destiny, it's my life. It's not their life. And they know that. We have laws. Again, we were so already past this. This is what's so mind-boggling, that we're having to come back to this again. Because this country, the United States of America, has done some pretty atrocious shit to many people. Not just one people, but many people throughout its history, and in an attempt to right our wrong, we created laws that said you can't do these kinds of things. And yet you have a government and administration, fuckers that they are, all are, that are totally in disregard of these laws. And we're just told to bend over and take it. Be a good bitch ass slave, pretty much. No. It's my life. And I can't believe that there's churches or hospitals that are of a denomination that would deny a person a religious exemption for whatever. That's just, again, the insanity. The total disregard for what is right and what is wrong. I mean, it's everybody, though. Everybody. I mean, when you got some cocksucker out there taking meat, who works at a Subway, taking the meat, putting it on the floor, stepping on it, putting it on the toilet seats, all that good jazz, and then putting it on your sandwich for you to eat. That's an asshole right there. And that person needs to be locked up. Personally, I think they should be gone for life. Locked up for life. We don't need that kind of a person. To be that sick, you're gone, okay? You're never going to be a changed person. You're not. Because you should never have gotten to be that person to begin with. And the very idea that you could do that, and you're not alone. I ain't picking on this prick, because I'm sure he's got an entourage out there. That's why I don't eat out. I don't eat out. Been a while, long while. I don't, because I know. And in this world, just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. It didn't start in 2020. We've been on this path for a long time, just continually getting crazier and crazier and crazier. No, I don't eat out. And another thing I don't do are fountain drinks. I don't recommend fountain drinks to anybody. Why? Because I worked in a number of places where there were fountain drinks and drinks involved. And I will say this, that if you ever came to any of those establishments while I was working there, I can say to you, you're good. Your refreshment was good, because I was there making sure that it was. Now, I find that in a lot of places, that kind of commitment by its employees is not there. And I'm the kind of person that I feel confident. I mean, not without some observation prior, but I feel pretty confident in saying that we go into this place and we take the caps off the fountain down so we can look up in there. You're going to see some lovely black, slimy, it's not supposed to be there, because it's supposed to be cleaned. And it's not something that develops like overnight or in a week. It takes a while. So that's another indicator that should tell you that they haven't done it in a long, long time for it to get to that point. Anyways, I feel confident in saying, I'll wager money. If we go in here, you're going to find it. I don't do it. In fact, as time goes by, I feel like the only way I'm ever going to have peace of mind is to eat the food I grow. Because even the canned foods, the frozen foods, you're going to get some a-hole that's they're in that entourage of they like to do sick, disgusting, evil, nasty, worthless human beings that they are. Shit, that's what they do. That's what gets them going. And it's going to be there. I don't see what would change people to not be like that. other than if you started prosecuting them severely, in that, like the person that he taped himself and put it out there so you can see, who thought it was just hilarious to be able to step on your meat and put it on a toilet seat and, whatever, who knows, and then eventually put it on a sandwich that you would put in your mouth and eat. Okay, that person needs to be put away for good. Goodbye. They're not going to change. But that's not going to happen. Even though that's what should happen, that's not what's going to happen. That's why it doesn't matter anymore. There's no more law. Again, you have the man in Texas, the father, who's pretty pissed off because his daughter was sexually assaulted in the bathroom by a man who was wearing a skirt, so was transgendered, and the father's pretty pissed off. He's even more pissed off because the perpetrator, the student, it isn't the first time. What the hell? See, there's no reason for that. And again, we need to make it more harsh, I guess. I mean, if all the school officials involved, all who had knowledge of this, that this was now the second time they knew of the first, they should all be fired. Okay? Removed. Fired. You're just done. That's just so... But it won't happen. Who knows? I don't care anymore, really. I don't think it matters. That's why I say I think the U.S. is dead at the moment. I'd like to think that tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be pleasantly surprised by news that there's a wave of people that just get it. They're all standing up for something that brings them out. I'm hoping. We need it. We definitely need it. Because, again, we ain't going nowhere other than into to death. I mean, that's the plan. To reduce the population by 80%, 90%. That's what they want, because they think there's too many of you. Useless eaters. I was watching Jesse Ventura, Conspiracy Theories. I watched a couple of the episodes last night or yesterday. And probably can't say, well, it's doing its no data thing again. Anyway, I watched one of these episodes. I think they maybe even have banned it off of YouTube. So maybe it'll ban you if you talk about it. I could see that because, I mean, it's unreal to hear and see a video of somebody talking about things that haven't happened. And this is like over 10 years ago. They're saying these things are gonna happen. And then here we are today with what's happening, and it closely mirrors what I was hearing this person say. That's no coincidence. Why is it not a coincidence? Because there's a plan, an agenda. Look it up. Do a search. You need to do a search. If you want some truth, anyway. I'm gonna close this stream down. But before I do, I'm gonna end on this with this. the devil. I'm going to talk for a minute about the devil. Because I think, myself, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it doesn't matter, but I think that the devil doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in the world. I'm not saying there's not evil. What I'm saying is I don't think the devil's doing any of this. Because it's not. It's you, the people. All the people are doing the things they do, not the devil. To me, that's like a crutch. It's easy to say, well, I didn't mean to do it. It was the devil over there telling me. That's not how it's supposed to be. I mean, you don't, okay. I'm having some thoughts here now because I'm bringing God into this equation because I'm trying to understand the whole conflict there, the storyline, God, the devil, the relation there, us. I just think we put too much blame on the devil and less focus on oneself, because that's where the real problem is. The devil's going to be there. It's always going to be there doing what the devil does. Let the devil do what the devil does. You don't have to choose to do what the devil does unless you want to. And apparently a lot of people want to right now. I mean, I see it all around. I mean, the videos of people, they love Satan. And they'll tell you they love Satan. I always love the video on Alex Jones with it, whatever it is, saying that they love Satan and they kill their babies, and like out there at the abortion clinic. It's absurd. And to think that we all just take it. One thing that the elites say is they tell us, and they are telling us. They're telling us, I mean, and if you have any sense, you can totally see the absurdity in what's going on, yet you're doing it because you're being told to. The elite see it that, well, we told you, and you still chose not to stand up. So who's in the wrong here? I mean, if you're not going to stand up, that leaves the impression you don't care. And if you're dealing with a person that does care, there's going to be some friction there. Somehow it's going to be resolved. And these people have the means to resolve it in the way that they have been envisioning. And that is to get rid of you. Your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, greats if you have them, all your friends, all your this is the majority of the world. That's what they say. It's what they tell you they want. There's a new world order coming. A great reset. And for some reason, the majority of people seem to think they're going to be there when they push that final button and the reset begins. If you look at the documents and the agendas that they've been writing and telling you about, when the great reset actually is in motion, everything's starting over, everything's new. Why would they want to carry on all the problems of this world and all of its people into this new world? This world doesn't work. Not the way we go about business. It doesn't work. So why do you think there's any kind of a great reset where you're going to be there? You're not. Why? Because you chose to not stand up. You'd rather be more concerned about Joe Blow and what Joe Blow said, what Joe Blow did to you. Or you're more concerned with the football game, basketball, baseball, whatever, all of it. You're concerned, but you're not concerned for the things that you should be concerned about, because the things you should be concerned about are the things that ensure that you have all those other things to contemplate. They don't want you here. I know you don't want to hear that. You're useless in their minds. They don't see your purpose. And by not standing up, that just serves as testimony to their reasoning, their point of view, that you don't care. And they don't want people that don't care, right? I mean, if you're rebuilding, starting new, you want it to be as good as it can possibly be. And if you're carrying into that new beginning a current knowledge, fresh knowledge of a system that failed, that should make it all the much easier to make the choices that you need to make this new reset, this new system work. Yeah. It's very simple. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. What you do need, though, is the ability to tell the truth. To tell the truth. To not lie. Ever. But see, I think most people they're not on that page. They don't see a problem with lying, cheating, whatever it is, against another. They don't see the problem with that course. They don't see the other way. Or they do, and they choose not to go that way. You're going to continue to see things become more and more insane. You're going to see people begin more and more leave. They're going to leave. I'll let you interpret that how you will. I mean, you know what I'm saying. A lot of them are about to leave. And all these people that are going along with it, I wouldn't want to be you. Why? Not because I envision punishment. Not because I think people because people are like that. They want people to be punished, and I don't see it that way. This moment right now, this time right now, everything that's taking place with who we are, humans, our minds, we are at the dawn, a potential dawn of a new age, a new world, and more, and beyond. We're right there. That choice. Some of us are going to pass through, so to speak. And those that don't, they go through it again. All of this, everything you went through, you go through it again. But I mean, you go from farther back. If you want to say hell, I guess you could say hell. When everything was like a fire, it was a fireball, the earth. And it started to cool. And then eventually little life started to form. You know, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of a time of going through. You're going to go through all that again. People don't care. They'd rather say, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, like it's totally sane to have a woman raped on a public transit with other passengers watching and doing nothing. Did jack shit. Fuck all those passengers. They are just as guilty as the person who did the raping. You are. That's just a fact. Till next time, be well and smile and love all. And thanks for stopping by.